Hello everybody and welcome back. As you can see, we're back to Chevelle things this week. If you caught last week's video, you saw I took the Chevelle back out to the track. It was a little on the smoky side of life, got to inspecting and ended up finding out I'm an idiot and somehow messed up installing the rear main seal. So we have got a leak back there. It's getting pretty bad. We need to fix it. So we've got the Chevelle here over the pit, facing the correct direction. We are going to go ahead and pull this engine out, fix up on that rear main seal, and drop it right back in here. Now, I was hoping that when this thing came out to be dropping in the L78, but it looks like I'm going to be waiting on pistons quite a bit longer still, so we can't quite do that just yet. And I'd like to have a little bit more fun with the Chevelle here. So, got a ton to do this week. I need to move this thing forward a little bit, start cleaning out the pit. If you remember, I kind of used that as my winter storage. So there's just no accessibility to anywhere near the front of the car right now. And that's where we're going to need to be. So I'm just going to dive right into it. So for a bit of perspective, I'm standing at the very back of the pit here. You can see we've got the back of the car right here. And then way down there is where we need to get to. So we can start disconnecting things and get this engine ready to pull out. However, we have got all of this in our way. Moved all this down here last winter. It's definitely convenient not having it up top in the way, but not so convenient now. Got a ton of tires and things to move around and get them out of here so we can make our way forward. It's going to take me quite a bit before we can even get started here, so I'll bring you back once we start actually wrenching on the Chevelle. That was definitely some back-breaking work getting the pit here emptied out, but as you can see, it is definitely worth it. It's going to make our life so much easier now that we can come forward here. If we look forward there, you can see that the end of the boards is pretty much right in line with the rear of the cross member, so that's going to give us plenty of access to get up there, get to those engine mount bolts, all the tranny bolts, stuff like that. Be able to get our tranny jack back here underneath the old transmission, support on that, and make this job a whole heck of a lot easier. So let's get topside and start stripping things down. Yes. I'm going to try to rush through a lot of this as quickly as I can. I'll try to get the camera out here and then, but probably going to wait on the old hood here. Last time that was kind of embarrassing. That thing is a struggle. I was banging it off the ceiling and all kinds of things. So I believe Uncle G-Body's coming down to give me a hand so we can try to knock this out a little bit quicker. I'll probably wait for him to go ahead and do on that, but I'll just try to get as much done as I can before he gets here, and I'll try to keep you updated along the way. So a quick little progress update here for you. As you can tell, I've just been working my way around the top of the motor so far. Everything's going pretty good. About the worst of it has been the old 6211 that you can see is now gone. Just no clearance around that thing to either install it or get it out of there, but finally got that out of the way, so just moving myself along here. Next up, going to go ahead and get the distributor cap out of there and the rotor as well, so we don't crunch on that when we pull it out. For the headers, I'm going to pull all the spark plugs out. Just disconnect the headers up top here and hopefully just leave them in place. See if we can pick the engine up right out in between them without having to disconnect those down below. We'll see how that goes. Then obviously we've got the fun mess maker here, the radiator yet to drain and get uninstalled and removed, but making pretty good progress here. Should be ready to go down underneath and start disconnecting everything down there real shortly. All right, so pretty straightforward. Nothing much to report. Tiny leak on the ground as always, but it is coming out. Alright, so as you can see, we've got the engine out of the bay here. Not so bad right here, but we did have some excitement. Ended up breaking the ankle on the cherry picker here. Somehow or another blew the caster out of the front there. Almost lost everything and just about dumped it. So that was pretty interesting and gets the old ticker going. Down below we started disassembling everything, and well, There it is, plain as day. My stupidity for all the world to see. Don't know how I managed to do that. That is just dumbfounding. But you can definitely see the upper half is in there backwards. So let's go ahead and fix on that and put it all back together again. All right, so the hard part should be done. We've got the engine reinstalled here, bolted in place up front at the engine mounts. Got a number of the bell housing bolts installed in the rear as well. So should be pretty smooth sailing from here. Really wasn't all that bad overall. I thought we were really gonna have to fight with these headers, try to get the engine back installed here, but really wasn't too bad. We just kind of lowered her down into place, grabbed a hold of each header on each side, and just kind of pulled them apart, and the engine just kind of fell right down in between the headers there, and everything's lining up pretty good, so really shouldn't be all that bad putting things back together. Now, we did find a tremendous number of leaks all over this engine. I mean, the valve covers had been leaking, the oil pan was leaking just pretty much all over the place, so hopefully we've got all of that sealed up a whole lot better now, and she will be a little less smoky, especially out of the rear. So time to get after it and start putting things back together again. Now, before we go dropping the old work pig here back in place, we're going to go ahead and make a small little adjustment. If you caught last week's video out at the track, this guy here was running a bit fat on us. It was pretty much right at the bottom of the 12s, kind of playing peekaboo with the upper 11s. So we're going to go in the rear of this thing, swap down about 2 jet sizes, see if that gets us just a little bit closer to where we need to be. I moved over to the other garage so I could use the workbench. Got the rear bowl pulled off of there, pulled out the jets, and if I could find the numbers on these guys, looks like they are 84s. So we're going to drop those down to 82s. I'm going to check everything over right quick here and reassemble, and then we'll go and drop it right back on the car. Everything's back together again. It got a little bit too late last night to try firing this thing up without disturbing the neighbors, so we're going to go ahead, fire it up right quick, check for any kind of catastrophic leaks, that sort of thing. Try to pull it out of the garage here, let it come up to temp, and just kind of check everything over. If it all looks good, we'll go out for a little bit of a test drive here and see if she is fixed. All right, so I got her fired up. Sounds like we got a little bit of a tick coming over here on the driver's side. Gonna have to chase after that, so don't let me forget. But other than that, I'm not seeing any catastrophic leaks. I have been down beneath in the pit here, checking for anything from behind. Not seeing anything leaking out of the rear of the pan, so hopefully we got it. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out right now so I don't sit here and die from all the fumes. Let it come up to temp a little bit, check everything over, then maybe we'll go for a quick test drive. And if we get time, we'll go ahead and see if we can figure out what that ticking noise is. I've definitely had some exhaust leaks on this side, but it's sounding a little bit more metallic than that at the moment. But let's go ahead and get this thing out of here. I've got her pulled out of the garage here, just letting it come up to temp. Everything seems to be doing pretty good so far. Seeing absolutely no leaks at all from underneath. I did go looking for the ticking sound. It does sound like it's coming from the bottom of the header, right around the collector area. My gaskets on those are pretty terrible and don't seal up very well. But other than that, I'm not noticing any smoke in the cabin, anything like that. So I think we are doing pretty dang good so far. I think the old Chevelle here is just about ready for a quick little test drive. All right, everything should be all set here to go for just a quick little test drive and see if we notice any smoke or anything like that coming in the cabin here. Seems to be doing pretty good, just kind of taking it easy on some of these back roads right quick, just double checking my temperature, stuff like that. Everything seems to be doing pretty good. I'm getting just a little bit of a smell of like burnt oil, but no clouds of smoke, and that could be because there was some oil that dripped on the header from changing out the oil filter, so I did an oil change because we obviously had drained the oil. and probably just burning off some of that crust that was on here from before, but definitely nowhere near as bad as it used to be. I'm gonna head on home right quick. We'll sanity check it once more. Probably get underneath the pit, check for leaks right quick, and if everything looks good, I'll come back out and maybe we'll give it a hit or two and see how this old 6211's doing. Seems to be going pretty good so far. Temperatures have been staying great. The smell in the car is actually clearing up quite a bit. Not getting near as much of that burning oil smell anymore. Again, no smoke has been seen entering the car, so it's probably just everything that was on there burning off. And it's just getting better the more I drive it. So definitely happy with the results thus far. We can definitely roll with this. Every time I come up that hill, there's this kind of a plume of smoke that appears in the car. Get the horrible smell, all that fun stuff, but this time around, no smoke whatsoever in the car. Again, just the faint smell, but I think that's just whatever's left on there burning off. Very, very happy. If we can get away from traffic a little bit, we'll see how this adjustment on the carburetor went. Need to adjust on the squirters just a little bit. She kind of goes pig ridge, then kind of flashes a little lean there, so maybe try to dial that in a little bit smoother so the hit is just a bit smoother off the line, but looking better so far. Get a little bit fat, but kind of comes around and is trending in the right direction. I'm pretty happy with that. And the best part about all those little hits and pulls, no smoke in the cabin whatsoever. Makes a tremendous difference. So much more enjoyable to drive now. Get one more little pull in here off of this turn and see how she's doing still. So overall, everything seems to be doing pretty good. Fuel ratios are looking a bit better. Car's running great, no smoke in the cabin, couldn't ask for much more. So we've got 2 test drives here on the car, a couple of hard pulls. It's time to come underneath here and start looking for leaks. Just kind of checking out the front of the oil pan gasket. I had a lot of trouble with this the last time. That's why you'll see I kind of gooped some RTV over the corners right there, because getting this to seal up with that timing cover, just no bueno. But looking pretty good over here on the driver's side. It does look like it is leaking here on the passenger side, so I will probably clean that up a little bit, try to schmooze it over a little bit more, and maybe tighten up on the nut right here. It looks maybe a little bit loose. And see if we can get that side there to stop leaking. Coming over this way, everything's looking about the same in terms of crustiness and grossness that it was previously. So looking pretty good there. Let's go ahead and make our way back. Now if we take a peek here at our header, I mean, this is a good sign here. I mean, it looks nice and dry. Previously this would all be just wet, and you can see where all that oil had just caked on this pipe right here. That is now starting to burn off. Got a little bit of moisture and stuff back there, but nothing too severe at the moment. Looking over here, see some oil, it looks like, from when I was changing out the oil filter. Nothing really going on over there. This side of the pan looks like it's relatively okay, so I think we might be good to go here. Just a couple more drives to get all this old oil burnt off of here, and we should be all set. The Chevelle is doing so much better. Swapping out that rear main seal made a world of difference. It's no longer like a scene out of Cheech and Chong in this thing where we're just billowing smoke out the back of the car as we roll down the road. It's actually pretty tolerable to drive now. You're not choking on oil anymore, so that's always a plus. We did find a couple of small little leaks. We had that little one at the very front of the oil pan. We'll try to get that shored up. And I do need to seal up on the dipstick. That thing is leaking just a tiny little bit as well. But other than that, pretty minor by the looks of it. The changes we made to the 6211 seem to work out pretty good. We're right in the middle of the 12s there. Seems to be pretty happy. So the Chevelle here seems like she is back and ready for more action. And that is a good thing. I thought we were going to be down for a while, just kind of waiting on the L78 build and kind of waving goodbye here to the old tired 402, but she wants to live and fight another day. So we've got a couple of other things left to do on this thing, a couple of fun things as well. Probably going to try to get that trans brake hooked up here pretty soon. That'd be fun to actually start playing around with, maybe get a little bit more brave with the launches, stuff like that. I'd really like to probably try to come along at some point and try to finish up the interior a little bit, get like the seats recovered, do something with the headrests here. Really the back seat's probably pretty terrible, just the bottom half of it right there, and the door panels. Just make it look a little bit nicer on the inside. The exterior here, still kind of undecided on what I want to do. I was thinking about getting the rear quarters and just kind of doing the full quarters and really just getting after this thing, making it nice and presentable. Obviously we got all the rust around the window to take care of at some point in time as well. That's why I was leaning towards full quarters, because by the time you order all of this stuff and the patch panels for just down here, you're pretty much into it the price of a full quarter. So it's one of those things where I'm just undecided. It's going to be a ton of work, but I'm probably going to end up stopping here for the week. It's pretty late and probably already behind schedule. It's just tedious work. This is probably going to be a short little video. I do apologize for that. You've seen me pull this engine out and drop it back in now a number of times. Not the most interesting thing, but at least the Chevelle is back and ready to see the track once again here, hopefully pretty soon. Looks like the upcoming dates are pretty sporadic. Stanton is coming up, but you know how I feel about that. It always makes my hand shake a little bit and start sweating profusely every time that word comes out of my mouth. But maybe we'll try to get back up there again here in the coming weeks, see if we can get a couple more runs in. But that's going to do it here this week. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.